Spin Time will go back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. Got Nathaniel off camera. Today, I'm going to be saying whether I think these Alfred Hitchcock films are overrated or underrated. Before we get into that, follow us on social media. Links in the description box below. Along with our coffee count and Patreon. If you want to donate money to the channel, it's greatly appreciated. I'm trying to buy a car. I need some monies, so go ahead and do that. But on the video underneath is the thanks button. You can click that, donate a little bit of that cheddar, that cheese, the mozzarella to Center Topical, and it's greatly appreciated. If you don't want to do that, you can always subscribe if you're not already, because it's free. But if you are subscribed, like, comment, it gets the video out there, and more people need to know about Alfred Hitchcock. So spread this video like AIDS in the 80s.
Woof. All right, let's start off with one that people have probably heard of, The Birds.
I will say The Birds is a little overrated. As time goes on, people talk about it less and less because the time period, man. This stuff, we know it's not really going to happen. You got those fucking weirdos on Twitter. Birds aren't real. You're a nematode. Birds attacking people, the green screen, it wasn't even a green screen, the background behind them, and the very famous shot of the birds attacking the lady in the phone booth. It doesn't hold up, so because it doesn't hold up, I'm going to say it's a little overrated. And as time goes on, people have talked about this film less and less. So, overrated.
To Catch a Thief.
To Catch a Thief, you know, I better not say it on camera, because I don't know how the laws work. So I am not a thief. Underrated. Cast impeccable. Doesn't get talked about enough. You got people talking about The Bird still. To Catch a Thief needs to get talked about a little bit more. So, To Catch a Thief. Underrated.
Vertigo.
This was another one when I saw it, I walked out of the cinema because TMC, there's like, this movie's been around blank anniversary number of years. Let's throw it in the cinema. Get out of the cinema. Call Nate. You gotta see this fucking movie. Go back the next day and watch Vertigo with Nate. And we're both jazzing about it. This film's so great. This technical, the colors you use, the camera shots, the thing that they use in Jaws, that's where it came from. This, that, and the third. We watched it, we geeked about it, and I watched it probably sometime this year. And James Stewart, you a stupid motherfucker. Then I realized that's the same girl. How's it that hard to realize? It's a bit creepy as well because James Stewart is very possessive and controlling, but the film aspect of it is on tens. You can't make this movie nowadays because people are going to be like, oh, well, the girl, he's stupid because he doesn't realize it's the same girl. The hair's the same. The hoo-ha's the same. You know what I'm saying? So, I won't say perfectly rated. Because, to me, that's the only thing I can think about the entire time. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think Vertigo is perfectly rated. I mean,
okay.
like you said, AFI at one point had this movie as their number one film of all time.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm talking about the plot hole. Do you think
I think
he should know it's the same girl?
I think for a 1958 audience, that was like completely acceptable. I definitely understand. Like, I think that's a fair criticism.
Okay.
Like for what we've evolved to now.
It's
like,
Alfred Hitchcock.
you could definitely make Vertigo again, but you would definitely have to tweak that part.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, this is one of my top 3 favorite directors. My favorite actor of all time, James Stewart. So, I'm kind of walking on eggshells on that one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
It's like picking your favorite child.
The Man Who Knew Too Much.
The man that knew too much was James Stewart, I believe.
It was.
And put Alfred Hitchcock in a different setting. I believe they're in Bombay, India in this film. And it's just mind fucking shit out of James Stewart in this film. It doesn't get talked about. It's a very good movie. The tension's there. The questions are there. The scares, the why you care is there. I will say underrated. People don't talk about this film enough. Very, very good.
North by Northwest.
Underrated because Alfred Hitchcock is known for one thing: thrillers, horror, to an extent is thrillers. But North by Northwest is a spy thriller, and he does a tremendous job at laying that out, showing how real life situations, how the tension can be put in that. Again, mind fucking Cary Grant, putting in him in scary scenarios and sunlight, like with the plane, for example. Even the on set work on the soundstage when they're in the up the president's nose and whatnot, it still looks really good today. I will say underrated because that's not really what you think about, but he knocks it out the park anyways. Rope, underrated. This guy didn't even know what it was. You can watch this James Stewart video in the corner. He was like, I ain't never seen this movie. I don't even know what that movie's about. What a great movie. Like, thrilling. It all takes place in one apartment. Two guys. They kill the best friend because they wanted to see how it feels. They have these college dreams and ambitions. Very realistic. I can see this shit happen today. Egotistical. They invite all their friends and the kid's parents that they just murdered, his girlfriend, his mom and dad, invite them over, and the professor that they went to school with, who taught them and whatnot, to see if they could trick them, to see if they could, like, there's a dead body 10 feet away from you, and guess what? You didn't know anything about it. They're going to dump that body that night, so they got to get through this dinner party, and it's just, the tension's there, the little scenes of, you see that person fucking with the chest, how, like, this conversation is intriguing, but what's happening in the background is even more intriguing. So there's just nonstop tension. It's hard to breathe during this movie. Underrated. Top 5 Hitchcock for me.
Rear Window.
Underrated. This is one of the greatest films of all time. I think it's a perfect movie. As we learned on Nate's Rotten Tomatoes guessing game, it is at a 99%. That's 2% too low. This thing should be at 100%. The opening scene, I would say, is the greatest opening scene of cinema history. Tells you everything you need to know right off the motherfucking bat. And James Stewart, what a great performance. What a beautiful, iconic soundstage they're working on. It doesn't look cheesy. It fits perfectly. The windows and everything, the camera work, impeccable. 10 out of 10, underrated.
And finally, Psycho.
I will say, damn. Again, it's kind of like the Birds thing. It's a tad bit, some scenes you could say are cheesy, like him falling down the stairs after he gets stabbed in the face. Technology, stunt doubles, it doesn't look great by today's standards, but I think it's impossible to say that Psycho is overrated, so I'm going to say it's perfectly rated, because you have one or two scenes, they don't look well in 2022, but the rest of the movie's iconic. The fucking shower scene speaks for itself. The twist of this movie's going one way, skirt! No, it's not. 2 movies in one, basically, and it's a seamless transition over into the next side of that story. The character work, the acting, impeccable. 10 out of 10. Keep you on your toes like a ballerina, like a lot of Alfred Hitchcock films do. But this one in particular, because of the shower scene and everything, is like in the forefront of the Hitchcock. Because back in the 1950s, that thing had hearts racing like the Indianapolis 500. So that's a racing reference. Good. Boom, 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 boom. But tell us your thoughts and opinions about these Alfred Hitchcock films down in the comment section below. Did we miss any? I'm sure we did. He's got a lot of fucking movies. But put your opinions down there. Like I said, scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.